What's going on, guys? It is your boy Austin, and although the information presented in today's video is public knowledge and can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, anytime online, I do not condone the harassment of any individual. So with that being said, do not harass anybody mentioned in this video. But with that being said, guys, let's talk about when customers leave shitty reviews. So the first one I have pulled up here is by TJ, and this was my customer. This review is about me, so I'm going to read this in the voice I pictured him writing it in, and then I'm going to give my version of events, aka what actually happened. So, review says, "Bud tender was the worst I've ever encountered. Passive-aggressive attitude for zero reason. Prices were not competitive. Most of the flour is heavily oxidized. The pre-pack deals they had, none to choose from. What a waste of time, effort, and license. Herbology just made the don't visit anymore on any occasion list. Good job, guys." I love that little "good job, guys" he added on the end there, as if this $1 million company is going to miss his $10 to $15 that he was going to spend. Imagine thinking that your opinion matters that much, dude. Get over yourself. So here's what actually happened, right? So this guy comes in during the middle of a lunch rush when we only have 3 bud tenders, so already there's a line, and he comes in with just a chip on his shoulder, you can tell. And I'm like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Looks over at me, just doesn't say hi, doesn't say anything, walks right over to the counter. So I'm trying to make conversation like, "Hey man, do you want, edibles? Do you want flour? Are you looking for pre-rolls? What are we looking for?" He just sits there. "Oh, I'm just looking to see what your deals are." Just taking a sweet ass time looking at every individual thing behind the counter. Just one of those customers, you know what I mean? So he asked me what the most best flour we have is. And I say, well, this top shelf right here is $40 an eighth. Show it to him. He smells it. Looks heavily oxidized. For those that don't know, oxidized means exposed to air. And I guarantee you everything we have in there is fresh. So it wasn't oxidized. So he asked about the prepackaged eighties. And I'm like, oh, we have the prepackaged eighties over here. Normally we have $15 eighties that are 4 for $50, but we don't have any right now because we're all sold out. And he just looked at me. "You know what? I'll just go somewhere else." I'm like, "All right, have a good day, bud. Stay mad, stay miserable." Now, it's one thing to have a bad experience at a store and you leave a review, but if you have a bad experience everywhere you go, it seems as though the problem might be you, TJ. So like I said, stay mad, stay miserable. Moving right along, we have the next review pulled up here by a guy named Jeff. So again, I'm going to read the review in the voice I pictured him writing it in, and then we'll talk about it. "Very poor service to this location. Non-knowledgeable bud tenders laugh off the bad help. Employees encourage running off customers to have less work." So, to give a little context to this Jeff character, this guy has come in multiple times. There was one specific time where Corey was working. He came in during a snowstorm and was just super pissed and took it out on Corey for no reason. He was just like, "Oh, the drive here is just so fucking shitty and I'm tired of coming all the way out here and I'm not tipping and I'm never coming back here." Stormed out. And Corey was just like, "Okay, dude, whatever. Hope your day gets better, bud." And so he does this like 3 or 4 times before he leaves this review. Now, on this particular day that he left this review, it was myself, Jonah, Corey, and Chris. Shout out to Jonah, Corey, and Chris, because those guys are absolutely phenomenal to work with. And they were a blast, and they were just super cool dudes. So we're working, it's super dead because we work out in the middle of nowhere, and so Jonah and I go outside to take a lap around the building and, take a little puff of whatever. So we do that, Jeff pulls up, goes inside, we know Corey and Chris are still inside, so we're like, don't worry about it. We're just chopping it up outside, and then Jeff walks out a minute later, he looks at us, and he goes, "You guys need to get in there before the other guys scare away off all the customers with their horrible service." And we're just kind of like, what? And then Jonah just pipes up and goes, "We prefer it that way," jokingly. And then Jeff proceeds to just keep running his mouth and then got in his car while he's still yammering. So as he's yammering and getting into his car and just yelling at us through the windows, you know, he's driving off and we watch him drive and then pull into next door, which is a Dollar General. And then we watch him sit on his phone and furiously type into it. It was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And the funny thing is Jonah and I went inside and asked Corey what happened. And apparently Jeff came in wanting some wax, which fair enough. And Corey was like, we have this, this, and this. And Corey is a very polite dude. He's not mean whatsoever. He's really good at his job. That's why he got promoted to a supervisor. So Corey's just, you know, trying to get him what he needs, showing him this, showing him that. And I guess Jeff just got frustrated and said, never mind, I'm just going to get this. And what's your name? Pointing to Chris. And Chris was like, Chris? And he was like, thank you, Chris. And then looked at Corey, gave him a dirty look, and just walked out, and then started mouthing off to us. So, yeah, stay miserable, homeboy. The last guy we're going to talk about here is this review right here by Kevin. So, here we go. Downhill since buying out Aim High. Won't be back. Apparently you're too stupid to understand what gone downhill means, so you decided to call my number. I'm not surprised. Your other 1-star reviews tell me you're too much of a moron to listen to your former customers. You know what? Same thing with TJ. You know what? You have a bad experience, you share it, fair enough. But if you have a bad experience everywhere you go, the problem isn't the companies, Kevin. The problem is you. And I want to draw everyone's attention to this review right here, which he posted, to which the company replied to, which is just absolutely golden. This review reads, I can't believe you let 2 of your best staff get away. Your new staff are lacking and can't answer questions and apparently can't understand food orders. They took it off the bill, so you're already losing revenue because I would have stayed for more beers and I didn't trust the staff after. She didn't even apologize really, just took it off the bill. You lost like $30 in one sitting. Good luck. I love the owner's response here is just perfect. Kevin Morrison. You have been constantly complaining and consistently rude to our staff for 5 months now. Remember the other 1-star review? You are a nightmare customer who is rude to our nicest employees and I will not tolerate it anymore. Do not return to our establishment. And you know, honestly, I wish more businesses like this had the balls to stand up to shitty customers like you. So, take care, Kevin. We're all laughing at you. And to the owners that gave this wonderful reply to this waste of a human space, dude, I salute you, man. For real. I really want to come and visit your establishment, and I just might. But with that being said, guys, that is it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.